So I'm burning up my past, preparing for the big move. And you can see I took down my chicken coop, got rid of the chickens. I'm not taking the chickens with me, but I am taking the coop. You can see it's all disassembled. That's how I build things. I build them so I can take them apart quickly and easily. If everything goes well, I should be 1,000 miles from here in about a month and a half. But that's if all things go as planned. Make a big move soon, and a few people know about it. It happened suddenly. A series of events happened very recently, life-changing events, and it made me make a decision. About 2 months ago I said, you know what, I'm going to do this, but in order for this to happen, a couple things need to happen, and they did very quickly. In fact, just last Monday I put this house up for sale. I lived here 18 years, over 18 years. Put it up for sale on Monday. It went on the market, and Monday afternoon it sold, so I guess I'm going. But I found a place about 1,000 miles from here. It's in a good location. It's an area I wanted to go in. I put a bid on the property, and they accepted my bid. Everything seems to be falling into place. A lot of things had to take place in order for this to happen first, but it's happening. And if things continue the way they are, I will be out of here within 2 months. And that's the plan. But I did want to share a couple things with you. Big old clump of pine resin, pitch pine I believe, I'm not sure. But it fell out of the tree apparently from a wound, landed on the ground. That's the ground side, and a deer stepped in it. And you can see a double hoof print where the deer, probably a large doe, stepped in it. Pretty cool, I thought. There's a lot of things you can find out in the forest. I've been finding a creature out in the forest that I didn't expect to find there. In fact, let me show you a little clip. And here we have a skull. We have some jawbone here. This is actually feline. Okay? It is feral cat, wild cat, that at one time was probably a domesticated cat. And it was confirmed to me over a year ago from somebody I know that lives close to the area where I found these. You know, there's probably 5-7 miles difference. But near his house, in a brush pile, he has wild feral cats living. In the middle of the rain, they're out there wandering around. They're having litters out there, and they look very similar. They have this grayish, blackish coat. And that's what I'm finding out in the forest. I'm finding these feral cat skeletons and carcasses. In fact, the one in the clip was preyed upon by something, probably coyote. It was literally turned inside out from the coyotes that ate off of it. And I'm surprised they didn't eat the bones too. Of course, maybe it wasn't coyote. Maybe it was something else that ate it. I was thinking coyote. Here's a knife that I started to make. Never got around to finishing it because I have so much going on. Did see a lot of deer this year, incredible amount of deer, and I did shoot one with an arrow. Unfortunately, I used the old Rage mechanical 2-blade, and it didn't work out. I literally hit a 4-point buck broadside at 12 paces, 15 yards. And the arrow deflected off the rib cage and exited the rear end of the deer, if you can imagine, and ended up on a 45-degree angle 4 feet behind where the deer stood. Just to give you an idea of what happened. See these Rage, they have a dull shoulder to them, and they spring open this way. And unfortunately, I think what happened is because the dullness of the shoulders and the way they spring open, when it hit the rib, instead of penetrating as it sprang, it actually caused a deflection, because the deer it wasn't quite a 90-degree angle to the arrow. It was a slight angle. What should have been a double lung shot ended up going through its body cavity and down into the ground behind it. Trail of blood, yeah. I mean, those blades are going to put a nice trail of blood, but I tracked it a half a mile. Sporadic blood spots and heavy bleeding, but it eventually dried up at the edge of a road a half mile away after tracking it for 4 hours about. Here's the arrow at 15 paces, covered with blood. Right there's the spot I lost sight of him. Right here I picked up his blood trail. So if you've made it this far into the video, I do want to pose a question again to those who follow me. What are you prepping for? I posed the question a couple years ago. I had some predictions, and I believe they are coming to pass. They're obviously present to me. Extreme weather patterns, we see that this year, absolutely. Changes in government, absolutely. Global government as well as local government. We're seeing more and more of an intrusion of an Orwellian state, if you will, a militant police state that grabs control, takes freedom, involves itself in more and more details of your life. And there's also the energy, food, and water crisis that's coming, I believe. I mean, it's obvious to me. It could be held off longer, but it's on the horizon. This could happen any time now. Wars, rumors of wars, just look around the planet. It's obvious. I mean, look at Syria. I mean, Iran and North Korea, etc., Pakistan. They're obvious things that there's always a problem there. But I mean, you look at the powder keg that's over there and the tensions that are growing. And of course, we know that the superpowers are all pushing their elbows around, feeling things out, talking about disarming while they're arming and building their militaries. It's all a big game. There's a lot of deception. Obviously, we've seen drones in the sky around my area already, twice. So, yes, changes are here. We predicted changes would come. These things would be happening. And there's a lot of things I could talk about, but I won't get into it. Things that would blow some people's minds. But when you stop paying attention to, you know, what your sports star is doing and who's pregnant in Hollywood and who's fighting, who's on the in, who's on the out, and all this stuff. When you get away from all the mass media hysteria about stupid stuff and pay attention to what's going on in the world, the real world, the world that affects you, you're going to start seeing things that you need to prep for. And that's what I've been doing. I've been prepping. And that's part of why I'm making my move. I'm putting myself hopefully in circumstances that will allow me to be a little more self-sufficient and less dependent on Big Brother, and less vulnerable to the attacks of, let's just say, the ones that are against people like me. Anyway, wish you all peace, and I hope that you consider making practical preps a part of your life. And I don't mean, you know, digging a bunker and hiding in a hole somewhere under plate steel with, you know, hordes of supplies. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things like getting out of debt. That's something that I've been working on the past couple of years. Getting everything in order in your home. Something I did, and it was worth doing it because I put my house on the market and it sold. There's a lot of things that you really have to consider when you see the world changing. and I hope you're doing that, making the changes that are appropriate for you. I can't tell you what you have to do personally. I know what I have to do for myself and my family, and hopefully I'm doing the right thing. Anyway, hope to get more videos out. I'm going into an area that's very interesting, and hopefully I'll give myself a little time to explore, which I have to do anyway. I just have to. So, I might even do a road trip, visit some hot spots I want to see. Anyway, send you my peace, and I'll catch you later.